Taylor here with Agri Spray Drones. Let's talk about some J100 issues that are happening now in the field. Why am I talking about this? Don't I sell J100 units? Well, because there's a few reasons. First off, we just now are beginning to send out J100 units, actually about 3 weeks ago. This is when we first started. And this is a new drone for the US market, and so we felt it's only fair if we let you guys know about everything going on, good and bad, mostly bad. That way you guys know exactly how it's being handled. Every drone is going to have problems. Every drone. We've never had a single drone that was perfect. Some of them have been very bad. So it's not the problem, it is the solution and how quick that solution is happening. We've been very transparent with all of our dealers over the past 5 months, getting this drone ready for the market. Having bi-weekly meetings with all of them where we address all these issues so they're prepared to actually tackle the issues whenever they arise. And EAVision has been fantastic to work with. So let's talk about the few issues that we've had with these drones out in the field. So let's break it down here. First, on the software side. On the software side, most of these drones have been largely very good. I mean, we haven't really had any anomalies on the software side except one. And that is all due to people not updating these drones properly. The EAVision drone is a much different drone on the electronics and kind of the computer system and whatnot than other drones are. You've got many different modules and they'll have to be updated separately. So what's happening is that a lot of guys, they're not plugging in this cord right here, basically just under the hood on the J100, just pops right off. They're not plugging in this cord right here to the remote and powering it down properly and doing that CPU update or doing some of the other updates. Now, we've educated all of our dealers on this. It's on our Knowledge Hub. It's on our e-learning course on our website, how to properly do your updates. And we have made sure to educate our dealers that they need to be updating their customers' drones as well. That way they are done correctly. So I'm calling out our dealers who have not done this. If you have not properly updated your customer's drone before it goes out, shame on you. This is a very serious thing. Your customer's success is your success. Make sure you take care of them and have good experiences because, well, the future of your business does depend on your customers having success. Update your drones properly and make sure your customers do that and you do that for them. That's kind of the only thing on the software side, really. There's a lot of changes that we're still doing on the software side and we're bringing into the market a lot of really cool stuff we've been wanting for a long time for drones to do that the J100 will do very shortly. Now on the hardware side on the J100, one of the issues that we have noticed here and actually knew about ahead of time is on these nozzle ESCs. So your nozzle on your J100 consists of 2 motors right here, and then an ESC that's actually 2 ESCs in one right here to control that, to control your motors and your discs right here. So these nozzle ESCs on the J100 were actually originally designed for EAVision's previous model drone, and that was fine on the J100 until we started adding 4 nozzles, which actually increases the amperage going to each nozzle ESC, especially at certain disc RPMs and whatnot, and that actually causes some of these nozzle ESCs to fail. And this was a problem that we knew about actually since March. So EAVision told us about this issue. They're like, hey, some of these things might start to fail, especially running 4 nozzles. So okay, well, great. That's not good. What do we do about it? They said, don't worry. We've just invested $1 million in designing new ESCs, specifically for the J100 and future models that are much more robust. And we will be sending you for free ESCs to replace all of the J100 units that you have out in the field. So this is the new one here. We've got some in. We've got about 245 of the new one coming in right now, with more scheduled to come in. This is the old one right here, and you can see they look almost identical, just different internal components. This one here is actually one of the ones that burnt up. And we've seen that on a handful of J100s. It's probably one of the more common problems in terms of electronics issues that we've seen out in the field. And if you run 2 nozzles, that problem seems to actually go away. It's only when you run 4 nozzles where you might see that problem happen, and it's not on every one, it's just on some of them. Something to probably talk about here is this is actually nothing new for us. This was a major issue beginning with the T40, because the T40 had basically the same kind of a system, and if I can find one out here, I'll actually show you. A T40 and T50 are really the same one in terms of the nozzles and ESCs. So here's a T50 right here. So that's the motor, and then the ESC's built in. This is probably one of the most common parts. That part there, the motor and ESC on the T50, T40, and then the motor ESC here on the pump side, because they're the same motor and ESC combo, just with different software, obviously, and different attachments. That was those two components there were our number 3 and number 4 selling and replaced components on our T40, T50 over the past 2 years, right behind propellers and flight motors. So the ESC nozzle ESCs on the J100, with those being bad, it's like, okay, we're actually pretty much used to that. We sent out I think it was over 600 of each of these and those just last year for T50s and T40s. And we've never actually had, there's never been like a recall, or DJI has never said like they were bad. We just keep having to replace them. So it's kind of cool on the EAVision side where they actually told us, hey, we think they're bad, and we're actually investing a bunch of money in designing brand new ones that are extremely robust, and we're sending a bunch of them to you for free to replace all of the ones that you have out in the field. So issue solved, or will be here in about a month when they all come in. All right, the other hardware issue that we have on some of the J100s that are out in the field right now is on a wiring issue. So the power that goes to your motors, your flight motors, comes from the battery. You got your negative and you got your positive here. It flows through your cable harness, through your arm, and then out from here into your motor ESC, then to your motor. Now, this originally here, like what you see here, this originally was one single weather pack connector, and so was on this side. Over the past few months, we've been making lots of software changes on the J100, trying to push the limits. We were able to crank the flight speed up from 32.8 feet per second to 50.5 feet per second. So that's a significant increase in speed. And then we tested out the 60-liter tank. This is 45 in here. Well, we tested out the 60-liter or 15.5-gallon tank. We love the performance of it. So that's a significant increase in weight. And so increasing speed, increasing weight meant increasing amp draw for our motors and motor ESCs. And so as EAVision was producing these units that were going to have all this software on it, they're like, we've got a concern, and our concern is on the amp draw on our motors. And so what they wanted to do is they wanted to make sure that there was plenty of surface area and plenty of good connection coming through on the power side, so that they wouldn't have any issues, especially on the rear motors, with all of that power now that was required to do those maneuvers. So what they did is they retroactively, as these drones were going through the production line, they retroactively actually clipped off that weather pack connector, replaced it with these larger bullet style connectors for your positives and negatives, and then of course heat shrink around it and then wrap around it. But the problem is, here's the problem that happened. Right here, this is one of them that had a problem. Whenever they did this, in the production line, they did this like on the factory floor, basically on the drones themselves. And some of these bullet connectors were not crimped properly, and some of these, some of the sheathing around the wire was actually not cut properly, like this one here. And what you can see is in this, so this was covered up in a bunch of heat shrink and then tape, heat resistant tape. But underneath of it is what you see here, and this was cut back like that, so all this wire was exposed, and whenever this wire is exposed and this connector begins to bend back and forth like that, you see it's very loose right there at the end of the cable where it clamps in. When it starts to bend back and forth, that can actually cut some of your strands of wire here like it did here. Now I peeled all these back, so these were shoved down in there, but I peeled them all back when I took this one apart, so you can see how many of those cables were actually cut on this one, which is a significant amount. So it's just caused by that wiggling back and forth right there as it's kind of vibrating in the harness. So that's a problem. Why is it a problem? Well, we go from this diameter wire to this diameter wire, and putting the same power through there, the same amperage through there, voltage through there, and that's a problem because it starts to heat up. Whenever you shrink your wire diameter, your wire at that point is going to start heating up. And so we found out about this issue actually after we sent drones out. This was 2 Saturdays ago. Today is Wednesday, so 2 Saturdays ago. We had a customer who had some drones go down. He was ferrying out 3,000 feet with a loaded tank on most of his flights to get way back in the back of this field. He was ferrying out all the time loaded, and over the course of that day, this wire right here started to heat up because he had broken strands and he had drones fall out of the sky. So we found out about it on the Saturday. We figured out what the issue was. We talked to EAVision on Sunday. They told us all of the batch, the batch that all these, what the units they think had this problem right here. And by Monday, they said, okay, here's our solution. The solution is we are going to ship you, air freight you, a bunch of new style bullet connectors. We are going to send our chief hardware engineer along with a suitcase of more bullet connectors on a flight to Missouri. And we are going to pay for all of your dealers who have drones that are affected to buy the proper equipment, the right clamps and everything to fix these drones, and we'll send our hardware engineer out to them so that he can train them how to fix them or actually fix them himself. And we are just going to fix the drones that are out there, fix the cables that are out there. Why are they doing it this way? Well, because that was the quickest solution. We found out on Saturday. By Thursday so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the chief hardware engineer for EAVision was here in Missouri, along with a big box full of new bullet connectors, and we were fixing drones that were affected with this issue. What would have been a major issue turned into a pretty minor, isolated incident that is now about 75% resolved at this point in terms of the number of units that are affected. But EAVision didn't stop there. They could have stopped there. They didn't stop there. They said, this is a temporary solution in our opinion. It's not right for you to have to do this retroactively. And so they're actually sending us enough cables pre-manufactured, not like this, not like retroactively manufactured, but pre-manufactured from an official cable manufacturer that have the correct bullet style connectors that are able to get the full power through that bullet style connector and not have this vibration issue. They're sending us enough of those cables to actually completely replace all of the drones, not just the ones they think are affected, for free. So there again, we have a manufacturer who stands behind their product. The US market is incredibly important for EAVision. They want to make sure these drones have success. So we were pretty freaked out when this happened, and now we are getting closer and closer to having it completely resolved. Make sure that fixing the cable solves the problem. We actually fixed one of our drones here at Agri Spray Drones, one of our J100s, with the correct style cable and bullet connector crimp. And since Monday the 5th to today, Monday the 12th, that drone has covered 1,400 acres with no issues. And that includes a bunch of flights where we actually flew with a full loaded 15.5 gallon tank, 60 liters, without spraying anything out. Same thing with a 12-gallon tank, 4 to 5 liter tank without spraying anything out. Just really heat up those cables and then repeatedly, ferrying out 1,000 feet to spray a field over and over again with both tanks, and then sending it out to go spray a bunch of wheat over the weekend. And today, actually, as I speak, it's still spraying with 1,400 acres plus now at this point, and we've had 0 issues. So we feel like this new style and correctly crimped bullet connectors does in fact solve the problem. So this is Dennis, and this is Leo. Dennis is our software guy with EAVision. Leo is the chief hardware guy. And they are here representing EAVision and us in solving problems for you, the US farmer, and those using these drones. We've never had this in the past. Dennis has been here for how long now?
3 months.
3 months Dennis has been here working every day out in the field, in the office. And Leo came here to solve an issue in less than 72 hours. He was on a plane and brought the parts to solve our problem, and he's staying until that problem is solved. So incredibly grateful for EAVision's dedication to the US market. I want to make another point here. I know we talked a lot about issues in this video, makes up the majority of what we talk about, but there's a lot of these J100s out there flying right now, entering their first, days of service, and we're beginning to get metadata back from these units on how many acres they've covered, how many hours they've flown, and so far on the metadata, it has shown us, let me make sure I look this up correctly. Yeah, 22,426 acres have been covered with J100s so far. Now that may seem like a lot or a little bit to you, but when we put that in context, how much time that they've been out there, we're looking at really only about 2 weeks is when the vast majority of these units are out there. We sent out about 245 or so over the course of the past 3 weeks. And the vast majority of those haven't actually done any service, spraying of product in the field. They've just been test flown. They've been practicing flying. So we're looking at likely about 80 units is what we can tell that have actually done service work. And 22,500 acres is likely low because what we find is typically those logs aren't actually uploaded for about a week or so. If they're not, hooked up to Wi-Fi every night to upload their logs, they, bring it back and boot it up once a week to remap fields. And so we're probably looking at about 30,000 acres over the course of 80 drones. That's not too shabby. So yeah, we've got a few issues here and there on a few drones. I don't want that to get blown out of proportion. The vast majority of these are operating completely fine and are covering many, many acres. And something else that I want to make sure that you are fully aware of is we've had issues with every drone that we've brought to market, including DJI drones, and we've always put our customers, the end users, those in the field spraying first. And we continue to support DJI drones, fix DJI drones. We continue to carry thousands of parts for DJI drones and EAVision drones so we can support our customers, but honestly, we end up supporting a lot of other folks' customers who don't choose to support them, don't choose to carry parts. We do. We always have. Our mission is to empower rural America, and we will always, always do that. That is our promise to you.